love nicotine, obviously, for its cognitive boosting effects.
I'll do a couple milligrams every now and again, and it definitely sharpens the mind.
So nicotine pouches seem to be gaining quite a lot of popularity recently. A miracle drug with cognitive enhancing benefits that can even improve your performance in the bedroom. And you guys know me, always keen to test out new things for science. That's what we're going to be doing today. So for the next 7 days, I'm going to be taking nicotine pouches to see if there's any noticeable benefits to my productivity. I've also never tried anything like this before, so I literally have no idea what I'm letting myself in for. But before I try this and possibly spiral into a nicotine addiction, what exactly are nicotine pouches? Nicotine pouches, also known as snus or zin, is a pouch filled with a powder that contains nicotine as well as flavors and sweeteners. To use, you simply place the pouch in between your lip and gum. The pouch becomes activated when your saliva moistens it and releases the nicotine into your bloodstream. So usually when I test out similar productivity products, I do a little focus test before and after, and people have mentioned in the comments that doing a test a few hours apart isn't that fair because you're obviously going to be better doing a test that you've already done earlier. So to make it fairer in today's video, I'm going to take the first test now and then I'm going to retake the test in a week's time. I should clarify, I don't have the best memory. The other night I was watching a movie and it took me till about a quarter of the way in to realize that I'd already seen it. So redoing the test in a week, it's basically going to be a brand new test. Oh, my memory must be better than I remember because I just scored at 92% with a 710 response rate. So that's going to take some beating, but yeah, we'll retake that test at the end of the week on nicotine. Okay, so it's finally time to try the first nicotine pouch I've ever tried. And I'm actually a little bit nervous. When I went to the store, they have different strengths. So I thought it'd probably be best to get the weakest one, but the weakest one they had was this, which is 3 out of 5, which I didn't think was too bad, but then it says it has 10 milligrams per pouch, and when you look online, that's apparently quite a high dose. So yeah, I don't know what a high dose will do. They also come in flavors. I went for frosty mint, so I thought it might be like chewing gum. I don't know why I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm doing hard drugs. Okay, so there it is. So I'm gonna pop this in, apparently leave it in for like 5 to 30 minutes, however long you want, and it helps you be focused. Let's go. Okay, it feels like it's burning. It's not very comfortable. People just sit there with that like that. Doesn't taste like frosty mint, that's a lie. I've been lied to already. Okay, I'm gonna do some work instead of sit here and just think about it, and then I'll get back to you if I notice any effects. Ooh. So the effects of these pouches came on pretty quick, almost immediately feeling a slight buzz and uplifting effect. However, this was short-lived. Okay, so it's been about an hour since I took the nicotine pouch, and that was a hell of a roller coaster. So initially, for the first 5 or 10 minutes when I started doing work, it felt pretty good, and I felt like, yeah, I'm feeling productive. Then that quickly turned into, I feel really, really hot, and like I'm going to be sick, and then I've literally just been laying here just trying to feel better for the past hour. So far, not the best productivity hack. I think 10 milligrams was too much for me.
This is Matt's first Zin, by the way. And it's a 6 milligram. That's a heavy dose.
But so far, I wouldn't rate it as a productivity hack.
So I think it's pretty obvious after watching the first time I tried nicotine pouches that only a fool would... Here we go again. Now I should probably mention, after my initial reaction to nicotine, I thought it made sense to lower the dose. So for the rest of the week I was going to be taking 2 milligram pouches. And even with this low dose, the effects were still noticeable. The only way I can explain it is it's like pouring coffee onto your brain. Though I was still having trouble with the taste, which was definitely not minty fresh. For the rest of the week I continued popping pouches like I was Gen Z, and before I knew it, it was time to retake the test. Let's go. Okay, so that was not the results I was expecting. This time I scored 84% with a slower response rate. So I don't know if the first test was a fluke, but we still have one more important question to answer. Does nicotine make you more productive? Yeah, it does work. This week, taking the nicotine pouches, I've managed to be more focused and more concentrated doing my work, and I've got a little bit more done than I'd usually do. However, I have also noticed a few negatives that I think it's worth mentioning. such as it's only been a week and I've got to the stage where I can take 3 or 4 pouches a day. So similar to drinking caffeine, your tolerance builds really quickly, and I assume if you do this daily that the effects are going to get less and less. Also, as nicotine binds to the receptors in the brain and triggers the release of dopamine, which makes you feel good, these can be highly addictive and habit forming. Something to think about. They may also cause cardiovascular problems as well as increase gum recession, and the fact that you can feel your gums burning when you put them in, it's highly likely. I also feel like my sleep hasn't been as good as usual this week, though that could be a coincidence. Overall, unless you're substituting smoking for these, I honestly don't think it makes sense to take them. And I know it's boring, but I think focusing on the big 4, being active, minimizing stress, eating well and getting good quality sleep will get you far better results than a pouch that burns your gums and definitely doesn't taste like frosty mint.